I'm going to try to put in 20 slides 8 years of natural design build in Costa Rica. So not going to be nearly as verbose, but this is our first year. This is a soccer pitch. This is where the women sold food and the people gathered to watch. We decided to take this and redo it for the community down there. This is in the small village of Masatal in Costa Rica. And this is what we ended up with, what we built. So bamboo, poured footers, stone application. We kind of were trial and error, a lot of trial and error. Somewhat based on peg, timber frame, somewhat design. This is pouring first layer of an earthen floor. Somewhat like concrete, where you have the places out where you can screed across. And this is just a really heavy mixture of cob, and this is what it ended up to be. A lot of earthen floors down there. They're extremely comfortable compared to concrete. You can really feel it on your feet, your calves, everything, if you're standing on concrete. So, and it doesn't take that much to patch if ding gets in it. This is one of the classes. We were met with this, and our task was to build an enclosure of cob. And that year we had 6 students, and we cracked the whip and built a 20 by 25 enclosure. This is what it looks like from one side. And this is with almost the lime plaster on it. It's a coat before the lime plaster, which we didn't get to because it was still wet. And you can see that the floor was just poured inside. And this is the other side. And they just, you can see footprints up to that doorway. You can see they just poured that floor. Even though they said don't walk across it, people did. So just the beauty of cob, the curves. Another class, this was actually a cob shower, which I've never done before or since. And it's still standing, it's great. And a composting toilet, 2 bin composting toilet. And this is what it ended up to be. Wattle and daub in there, cob, a lot of site work. Like I said, I couldn't really consolidate a lot of these pictures. There's a lot of work that went on before. Built swales, hand dug to get the water. This was on this was a classroom. This is what we found when we got there. So we try to incorporate site work and actual construction work whenever we go down there. So this is what it looked like when we got down there. Robin, the woman that owns it, to building a swale and berm here to divert the water out instead of down towards the foundation. Building a pathway, starting the foundation with the stone applique on there, starting the actual structure with bamboo. This is the footer for, this is going to be a poured earthen floor. The cob wall is starting to go up, and the wattle is going up for the daub to be applied to. Electrical is already in there. And this guy's so psyched that we're putting manure in this mixture that he just had to get that tattooed on his belly.
Nice body.
And this is the bench, the earthen bench that we built into this enclosure. And that is the finished product of the earthen bench with some test bricks down below of cob. But it's just really a very welcoming place, a nice place to just hang out. And that was one of our students one year. This is the exterior. Ooh. And you can see inside into the classroom. What, you know, if every classroom was like that, I might be tempted to stay in school. But ants are so much a part of the rainforest down there that I figured that that would be a really good applique to.
How were the ants created?
How are the ants created? It's
Is
just
that paint or darker?
put in there, you know, nails or pegs or whatever, and added out. It's just bas relief. So this is the finished product. We have swale planted out, Burman swale planted out with nitrogen fixing plants, pineapple on top. This is another structure that we built. It's a bathhouse, 2 showers with changing rooms, and then some of the plaster was done after we left. A lot of the plaster work they do, all the plaster work pretty much is lime plaster, just as much more structural. Not structural, but it stays longer. So this is a timber frame that we did years ago, and building the walls, you can see the stages, the wattle, which the daub will get put on, which will then look like this, and then a plaster, and then the final plaster. And this is an octopus over here, but you can't really see that well. And this year's project was building a two-seater composting toilet for this biodigester. And this is a biodigester. So this is what the site looked like when we got there. You can see the piers. We had 8 piers, and we had to design something around that. So this is our deck. It's a teak deck, complete teak framing. Talk about putting a 20-penny nail in that, it just makes my shoulder hurt. But that's what we had to work with. There's a lot of teak down there. So this is partway through building on top of those 8 piers, and this is the last picture I got before my battery in my camera went dead. So wattle and daub walls, there's louvers up there that we made out of sawn teak. This is one side of one composting toilet, that's another side, and it's going to all feed down into that biodigester.